Hi, Michael.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay. All right. So today's lesson, actually, it's about Back to the Future. Or things we can do in the future. Do you remember the movie Back to the Future?
Yeah, I remember it. I remember it, and I've seen it like I have watched it several days ago actually. All this 2 or 3 movies.
All the three. What made you watch it? Because I kept telling it to students, Back to the Future, Back to the Future. So you probably didn't hear it from me. Where did you hear it from? What made you decide to watch it?
Uh, I don't actually remember. I just typed in the movies to watch, and it was in the list, and I started from the first one, and then decided to watch the other two. It's pretty good, and I don't know, I liked it. It's easy to watch. No, it's not no killings, no rapes, nothing, no horror. Just fun to watch, like easy movie.
It was more family oriented, but like we don't have those type of '80s movies because you can see how I guess it's how American society has changed. Everything's about killing this and that. I mean, I watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that came out. I believe you know what movie I'm talking about, correct? Ninja Turtles movie
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's all CG animated. It looks oocious. That's the only words that can come out of my mouth. There's just. Hopefully you can hear me better.
Oh, yeah, sure. Same here.
Sorry, yeah, I know. I know. So the movie, they rely too much on CG. When you're watching Back to the Future, there's a story. There's a little bit of special effects with the car, the machine of the car, but there's more story than there is special effects.
Yeah, yeah. But I didn't see this turtles thing. But my friends told me they didn't like it.
You know what? The graphics in there, they're very good. They're very good lighting. CG has come a long way where they can render a lot of frames very fast based on the environment that the CG model is in. But it looks like so real that it's not real anymore. I don't know if you can understand what I mean. Do you understand what
Yeah,
I mean when
yeah,
I?
yeah, yeah.
It has to be realistic. There's an original Ninja Turtles movie in 1990. They're in some latex costumes, but it is kind of goofy based on the cartoon. But at least it has story. Like this one, there's no story. So if you look at movies like Back to the Future, very well done. Which one did you like? Which Back to the Future movie did you like more? The first, second,
Yeah,
or third?
yeah, I liked. Actually, I liked all of them, but of course, the first one is the first one. Like the first one is okay. Is the most interesting maybe.
Now, what did you know what they could do back in the future? What do you remember that people were surprised about? Do you remember? Remember you went,
Um,
wow, back in the future, look, wow, this kid has this and that. Do you remember some things that people were crazy about? Like, wow, this could happen.
yeah, the people were crazy about the skateboards. They were flying in air, like no without wheels, just air. They also were like interesting clothes that matches your body, exactly your body. Matches exactly your body.
It matches your body. Yeah, clothes were very different. Now, what about the VCR? Obviously you know what a VCR is, right?
Yeah, yeah, like the tape, right?
Yeah, yeah, VHS. I don't think in Ukraine. Do you guys have VHS back in the day, or you
Yeah,
don't
we
remember this?
had
Did
it.
you?
We had it.
When did you have a VCR? Do you remember? When did it come out in Ukraine? In
Uh,
America, it came
I
out in 1976.
Yeah, I remember that I had my first this VCR like in 1997, I
Uh-huh.
think.
But when you had a VCR, we had DVD, DVDs. So
Yeah.
that,
When
that's
did you have VCRs?
my dad bought a Beta Max.
Uh,
Beta came before. No, it came during VHS. oh, you got to have a beta. It's better quality than VHS, and everyone bought a VHS, and then Sony marketed the beta, right? And then JVC marketed the VHS, and VHS didn't have the good quality, but it was marketed better, and it went out, and people were stuck with beta, and you know, it had better quality, but it just, you know, they weren't making tapes for it anymore, and it was very expensive. So yeah, back in 1976, I believe the VHS was invented, but it was a big machine. So you guys probably didn't see it until in the 90s, right? So, and what about DVD? When did you first see DVD?
I don't remember exactly the DVD, but I remember CDs. Like the first CDs were, it seems to me it was 1997, 97, right?
All right. So you guys probably got DVDs when we had Blu-ray. So I'm just joking. No. But you know, all this technology, you can think, well, what's going to happen in the future? Well, you like all this stuff, and a lot in the Back to the Future movies. You know, it was wow, VCRs. Look at this. Wow, you can record on the tape and this, and people never expected that. And all the cars that the technology in cars today. What are some things you think you can do in the future? What do you think is going to happen?
I think that we're gonna have like computers that will be without keyboards. The keyboards like will be all the like iPads, right?
Yeah.
These computers will be replaced by something like iPads.
But you know what? A lot of Americans, they like their keyboard. They love it. They love their mouse. It's old school, we call it, but they love it because it works. Look at what happened in Windows 8. Nobody liked Windows 8. If anyone from Microsoft is watching this, you know what I mean. You know, the whole Metro feature interface, touch screen. No. On a laptop, no. On a tablet, yes. And on Windows 8.1, they put it back. So I don't know. I mean, you're saying no keyboard, but people, don't you think people will miss their keyboard? You don't think you'll miss a keyboard?
You know, they're gonna miss keyboard, but it will be, you know, we used to it. But it's like for example, it's like a Mercedes-Benz, right? When we have a new car, like a new design of the Mercedes-Benz. I don't like all the new models, but then when you start using it, then you realize, okay, this is better. You know, better than the previous one.
Well, the mouse has been around 1970s. That's a long time. Nobody's gonna kill. There's no cat in the world that will kill this mouse, I think. You know.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe you're right.
Look at this. This is like mice have changed. I remember I had my first mouse was in 1994. Mm-hmm. It was a Microsoft mouse. It was a serial port too, corded. It had a ball in there.
Yeah,
oh, I hate this ball.
Yeah, and then you have to clean it inside. Sometimes you can take off the ball from it and clean it. Because sometimes it didn't work properly.
Absolutely. When did you notice? When did you start using I guess we can say an optical mouse, like, you know, optical, like on here, the optic sensor on there.
Mouse. I started to use it. I don't remember exactly when I started to use it, but it was when I was in university, like in 2002.
But you notice with the touchpad, you know, touchpad is on your laptop, right? You touch it and it moves around. People thought they never got used to it. Oh, I hate it. But most people, they have a mouse still. You would have thought, the touchpad will replace the mouse, but no, most people still have a mouse.
Yeah, because it's easier and you don't have to. It's like more relaxed when you're working with the mouse. Your hand is more relaxed.
Exactly.
Oh.
And I think how do you work with the spreadsheet with the touch screen? You know, like, I don't know. I can't. I think I would make more mistakes. I mean, when you're writing a message, and I don't know if you SMS much. I don't. I like to talk to people. When you're writing a message, how many times do you make a mistake on your Android phone?
I don't have Android. I have iPhone. That's why I make no mistakes at all. It just corrects me all the time, and actually it works fine for me. And I message a lot, really a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your hands never get sore. You never say to yourself, I might as well just talk to the person.
I have a special program that, for example, if I want to type in "Hi, how are you?" right? I just have the abbreviation HAU, and I write HAU, and it says "How are you?" and I send it. Like I have a lot of abbreviations, so like this kind. So I don't have to type everything.
I hope one day we don't talk to people saying HRU. What are you talking? I don't know what the person would be talking about. All right. Well, I guess maybe I'm more old-fashioned. I think for me it's faster just to call the person, talk to them, as long as they're on the Life network, because then I don't have to get charged. So that's the only thing. Okay, but
you call it Life network. What is Life network?
Life,
Life.
Mobile.
Yeah. Oh, great, right.
If you put 40 hryvnia on your Life card, you phone, how you phone anyone on the Life network for free.
Yeah.
Like that. So that's why I said, as long as they're on the Life network, I'll phone them. Right?
Yeah.
If they're on MTS, sorry, I don't want to waste my money. Okay, and you know what, BlackBerry had a very good keyboard too. As well. It was very hard to make mistakes.
Their keyboard is one of the best keyboards that I've ever used. They're really good at it.
Yeah, but where's BlackBerry now? I mean, it's a Canadian company. Actually, their company's not far from where I live. But, they're not doing too good as well.
I read somewhere that the CEO of BlackBerry, he has like a hockey team, and he spent a lot of time with this team, and he made some mistakes in some business mistakes with BlackBerry, and that's why they had RIM, Research in Motion. The company was the name of the BlackBerry, and after that they called themselves BlackBerry. They issued several models. Actually, I like some of them, like one of them. But I like the way it works, and I had in my life I had like several BlackBerries, maybe 5 BlackBerries. Yeah, but the thing is that they are really reliable, and the battery of BlackBerry works like it can work several days. Not like iPhone. iPhone, I charge it full, and I come back home in the evening and it's empty.
See, of course.
Yeah, but on BlackBerry you charge it once and you can go you can go like several days with it without charging. This is what I like about BlackBerry. Plus, the keyboard of BlackBerry is really good, and I like the way it's done.
The way it's done, it's made. The way it's made.
Yeah, the way it's made. The quality of the BlackBerry is really high, but the semblance of it is very low. It's not comfortable to hold in hand. Like if you hold in hand your iPhone, you feel like it's like a piece of
jewelry, maybe.
Yeah, it's solid. This is the word that I was looking for. Solid. But when you take in the hands your BlackBerry, you feel that there is a back door, there is a glass on front, there is a separate keyboard, and so on. You feel those parts are not assembled well. They're different.
Absolutely, but the thing is, there's a difference between the bold and the curve. So the bold was made a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
And it was more heavy-duty Soviet quality they've been known for. But you know what? A phone, it's just a phone. It's a phone. It's a phone. I can live on a basic phone too. And for me, it's at the end of the day, it's how you manage your contacts, right? I don't have a problem writing things on the phone. No, on a piece of paper, because what happens if you lose your phone? Most people don't back up. You're done. You have to get everything over again. If you wrote it on the book, you would still probably have it. Am I correct?
Yeah, but there is an iCloud on iPhone, right?
How many people use that though?
I've never met people that don't use it because automatically, You have to just log in to your iPhone, but you cannot actually use it without logging into your account.
Okay, so you need an Apple ID then. Okay.
Yeah, I need Apple ID, right? And you go to this Apple ID, and all the information can be backed up. For example, when I sold my previous iPhone, I went to the App Store, I bought a new one. I just turned it on, typed in my login, my password, and I had my contacts, I had my notes, everything on my iPhone again.
What if you want to switch phones though? What if you want a juicy Android?
If you want to use Android, like this is what they say it switch cost. You know, this is what you cost to switch from Apple to BlackBerry or from BlackBerry to iPhone.
Well, you know me, I believe in paper because sometimes the cloud can go down. It's the cloud. You never know. I had cloud backup too, right? And if you read the fine print, even in any terms of agreement, you'll find that they're not responsible for lost data. It happens. That's why I always tell people to make more than one backup copy, but people only rely on one, and that's a problem. So anything could happen. Anything. I mean, Kodak in the beginning, they offered free images to people, right? And you can upload your images. And then one day they found out, well, we're not making money, so let's close it and let's get rid of everyone's photos. And that's what happened. And everyone thought here's an expression, they had the peace of mind knowing that their photos would be safe, but they weren't. So that's why I prefer paper. So what else do you think? I mean, it talks about here, I had something else. Going to Mars. What do you think about this? Do you think it's really important to go to Mars, to go to other planets? I mean, where else could we go?
I've never thought about it, and I'm not sure if this is of use for how to say people that live on Earth.
People what?
People that are living on Earth.
People who are living on Earth?
Yeah, how do we call them?
Earthlings.
Human, not human. Human race, right?
Humanoids. Humans. Yeah, sure, humans.
Yeah. It's a good way to go. I don't see a reason to go actually to Mars. Just to, I don't know.
Unless we want to see some aliens or different life forms, you never know what's out there. We might invade their land and they might come down to us and nuke us. You never know.
Yeah. So let's see. What movies do you like?
What?
Tell me what movies do you like?
Well, from Back to the Future, well, if we're going into the future, I don't know. I like Star Trek. I always liked Star Trek movies. Do you remember Star Trek?
I have never seen even one thing from Star Trek, one series. Is it like a series of movies or a movie?
Yeah, it's like a series of movies. You're in an Enterprise, a spaceship that goes out of space, and you're some coordinates out in some galaxy. And there's a star base. Money is nothing. Money means nothing in Star Trek. What do you think? A world without money? Could you imagine that? A world without money? Because in Star Trek, Jean-Luc Picard, the captain of the USS Enterprise, said, we don't use money. We don't pay people. We don't rely on it. What do you think of that? No money.
I think that it's that's why we call it a movie. Actually, it's not true.
Yeah, I don't know how they work. You just went on a space station and you worked on there, and I guess you had free food, right? There's no money, so you got to get free food. So maybe that's in the future. Dimitro, are you there?
Yeah.
Hello, how are you? Where are you from?
Thanks, I'm fine. I'm from Ukraine.
Whereabouts in Ukraine? We're all from Ukraine too.
What? Repeat, please.
Whereabouts in Ukraine are you from?
I'm from Lugansk.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right.
How's the situation in Lugansk now? Tell us.
Terrible, of course. Yeah, that's all.
How do you feel when it's gonna end?
Of course, it depends on Ukraine army and Russian politics. But I think end will be not so soon as I want.
Yeah.
Maybe in 3 months, at least in 3 months, everything will be okay.
Hopefully before winter time, because I don't think we're gonna have any hot water. So I'm preparing for lots of heaters, lots of boilers, and I plan to buy them before anyone else buys them. Because anytime there's a crisis, usually Ukrainian people they buy out everything. If there's a shortage of bread, if someone said there will be no bread tomorrow, bread will be gone from the magazine. So I just hope we have hot water in the winter. We have heat in the winter time per se. All right, so Dimitro, today's topic is about in the future. I used the movie Back to the Future as a reference. Do you know this movie? Have you heard about it?
Of course, yes, of course.
All right. What do you remember from Back to the Future? What are some things that Michael J. Fox, who is a Canadian, could have done back in the day? Like that was kind of weird, well, kind of interesting. Because if you remember, he went back in time with his own stuff. He had his own stuff with him. Do you remember what was really interesting about that movie?
Yeah, I liked this movie, but don't remember very well.
Well, me and Yvonne, we were talking about the skateboard. There was he was going in the future in the second one. I think that was really interesting. And flying cars too.
Yeah, of course it's amazement things, but I don't think so that in future we will have these machines or something else.
I think. Okay, continue.
I think our future will be more common. I believe nothing special. Future now, for example, in 15 years, everything will be same like today.
So there will be no flying Marshutka bus.
I think it's impossible. I'm engineer. I know exactly. It's impossible in 15 years, for example.
Well, if it can go fast enough, why not? Put some wings on it.
I thought that Japanese is very have a big machine development of machine. Yeah, understand me.
Sure.
But now I thought that it's not so high. Everything like in Ukraine or Russia or in USA or something.
Well, what do we have from Japan that's here? We have that train, that Hyundai train, right? That goes very fast and kills people, from what I understand. People in the village don't know what the heck they just saw. It's just flying train. It goes that fast. So I never expected to see that in you know what I'm talking about.
Repeat this.
The Hyundai train. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know about this train. For me, it's not so interesting.
Why not? It goes very fast. I mean, you can go from Kiev to Lviv in 5 hours. I never thought of that. I mean, that's very, very fast.
But we can develop our technology. Maybe in 10 years it will be more faster. It will be faster than now. And people. Okay, that's all.
I thought it would be dangerous because in the village, you know how it crosses into villages. There's no stop signs even. There's a stop sign, but there's no barricade. So you would never know what hit you. It would go that fast. I think that would be a problem because I heard a lot of people died from that Hyundai train because it goes so fast. So maybe it should be slower. Maybe too fast is no good.
Maybe the train must remind the subway, and I think it will be a solution of problem. If train goes underground.
Underground, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well, they can do that. I mean, they do that with the English channel, right? I mean, why not? That would be interesting. If you have the grounds to support it, I suppose. What about cars with no drivers? Could you see this in Ukraine?
Yes, I know some technology that connected with this topic. But the biggest problem that people don't want deposit money in this technology.
Deposit money.
Deposit.
Valerie, Vitaly, what do you think about not flying, but Google cars? Do you think you could ever see this in Ukraine, or it would be too scary?
I think it's not good now. I mean, it maybe in the future we can see better because I know I see it. I saw it in television, and I know that it's not more than 20 kilometers an hour, and it's very slowly and
Very
I
slow.
think slow, yes, very slow, and you will if you go without car driver, and for example, like you said, from Kyiv to Lviv, you can sleep all night, and I don't know when you will come here. There.
I would be scared of someone hacking into it and making it go like to 200 kilometers an hour. Here comes the flying Google car. You know. So.
Yes.
Beat that Marshutka bus. Yeah. So. What else do we have here? Neuro hacking with your brain. No. Let's not talk about that. That can be mass data. Have hackers can get into your brain. Let's not talk about that. Quantum control. Picture a tiny bit of a thing on an already mini school computer chip. It gets too specific. They were talking about computers getting smaller. I don't know how much smaller can computers get. I mean, the problem that I see is everyone wants something bigger, and when it becomes bigger, they want it smaller. When it becomes smaller, they want to become bigger.
Yes.
They want it smaller. Make up your mind. You know, how much smaller can they get?
I think it's not problem, but every time we want change, and if we talk about computers, so it's depend on people. I mean, when you see when you look at monitor, you want for example, I use it for watching film, movies, cartoons, and something else. So I need a big monitor. But if we are talking about I mean, like a planchette or something that, because you need to use it in the trip, for example, or you go to the work trip, and so it's can be small, but not small like a telephone. It can be more, for example, 15 dooms or 13 dooms, like this. I don't understand why people use very little, because if I need some feet in the Word documents, I can do it with my fingers. I don't know how people do it.
They want it small enough to put it in their pants, but if they sit on it, they don't want it to break. So you know that's the key. And I never seen someone put a planchette in their underwear, so I don't know about that. You never know. What about robots in the army? There's a company in America that is developing this. I'm very scared of this. If it came into the wrong hands, if you know what I mean. You know, robots in the army. Did anyone hear about this?
I heard, yes. So I don't know. It's I don't know how it works, and I mean how it will work in the future. But it's like in a film, in the movies, you know. And
it's like Terminator, I'll be back, you know. Like what the heck? I'm waiting for Arnold Schwarzenegger to join the Russian army or something. Dmitro, what do you think of robots in the army?
Why not? I think it's a good idea, but the biggest problem that this technology is too expensive. And government, for example, in USA cannot afford this technology.
But isn't Boston Dynamics, this company, they're developing these kind of robots that can be put into unsafe places. I think that's good because, you know, people get killed by mines all the time. You see in Afghanistan, a lot of Canadian soldiers, American soldiers, they die of landmines. So, I mean, the tanks just can't take that force. It just there's no armor protection for that. So, you know, this, I forget what it was called. It was called the Big Dog. It was carrying like 200 kilos worth of equipment. So that was great because instead of a person carrying that, this big machine can carry it. And if you kick it, it goes back on its feet. I think that's really interesting. Like they called it, I think they called it the Big Dog.
Big dog.
The Big Dog, because it walked like a dog. What about instant food? In Star Trek, nobody watched Star Trek here, but in Star Trek, if you wanted hot chocolate, think cacao, you know, but like that, you know. If you wanted hot chocolate, you press a button. It's like a microwave. You press a button, bang, you got your hot chocolate. What do you think, Dimitri? Do you think this technology can happen in the future, or it's impossible?
Why not? But I cannot predict future. I believe for me it will be very useful technology. And but what will be the future, I cannot say.
I'm waiting for the instant Big Mac to come out. You know, I want my Big Mac. I don't want to go through drive-through. I want it from my microwave. You know.
But I think sometimes this technology makes us slowly and slower. People
and
don't
fat.
want fat.
And fat, of course.
Yeah,
You know.
I think people don't want to move, and this problem. Our technology must connect it with sports, I think.
You know, that's the problem. You know what we see in America and Canada and in our Western countries? People don't move. They don't move at all. They're stationed. They're like tanks that don't move.
I think it is another side of new technology.
I think it's a bad side. Look at the obesity.
Yeah, of course, it's bad another side.
Well, you know what, Dimitro and Vitaly, we never had all this technology back then, and if we look at our Western societies, we were never obese back then. Now, people are getting bigger. They don't stop. They can't fit in a normal car. They can't get on an elevator because they weigh too much. I think that's the big problem. You know, if you weigh too much for if you can't get on an elevator, you know, maybe that technology is too useful.
Yes. But you know, in my opinion, I disagree with the opinion that we have to do something in technology new because it's like I saw once time I saw cartoon when people sit in another planet and do nothing, just with monitor, and they have just everything do through the computer, and it's a really big problem now, because if we are talking even about Robocop, I mean robot in
Robocop, oh yeah, that was a good movie. The first one, so, not the new one, not the new one. The new one, no, the old one.
When we saw this this film movie, we didn't know about that happen in the future. Now we have this, and if somebody do this, and every time countries
somebody
make a deal, yes, make a deal that no war can be war, and this, and so why people do this Robocops, and I don't understand it, and for me it's we have to do something for our health, for sport, I don't know. It's not good way to do every time something new. It's I don't know. It's my way. It's my opinion.
Well, I'm scared of technology because look at a nuclear war. Like that's what scares me, because a nuclear war, that would be a chain reaction. That's the premises of what nuclear is about, or about chain reactions. It don't stop. Some countries would have a field day just bombing other countries. For them, it would be playing Battleship. Nuke them, nuke this one, no, nuke that one. So that technology, that scares me. That really does scare me, especially when it comes to like nuclear weapons. I think that's when technology can be abused, and maybe we went too far. Maybe it's too much. Dimitri, what do you think? What do you think of that? Can technology go too far?
I want to say about the nuclear weapon, for example. I know that in major situation, our government or USA government develop only military technology, or that connected, or something that connected with space. In other technology, it is like we don't produce this technology, and it is let me down, of course, because I want that technology of peace was in our world. Something like that.
You know, but to me, anyone who says that, it sounds like a Walt Disney movie, because we know that that will never happen. With newer stuff, with newer ways to kill people, it's always a threat. It's like it's something that could happen. You know what I mean? It's something that it can always, you never know. So that's what scares me with things like atomic bombs and you saw it with Hiroshima, right? Nagasaki. That all it took is one bomb, right, to wipe out those Japanese people. That's it. Actually, it's two bombs. Actually, but when they dropped the first bomb, all you could see from the bodies was like a black shadow. Nothing left. Nothing left. That's how devastating something like that could be, and it wiped out thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people just in an instant. And you know, that was way back in the day. That was a long time ago. This is now. So
actually, you know who is this Solzhenitsyn?
Who?
Solzhenitsyn.
Who's this?
It was a Soviet scientist. At first, he created weapon. I don't remember what kind of weapon, but in the end of his life, he was lawyer and tried to protect people from the government. It was the reason. At first he created a weapon, and in the end tried to protect people from this weapon. And it's maybe like our way. At first we create a bomb that can kill all people in Nagasaki or Hiroshima, and after that I understand that it is the wrong way. I think it's like step in our evolution, and we cannot avoid.
Yeah, well, that's the only way to get the enemy to surrender. Kill all the people until you surrender, and that's what worked. That they surrendered like a day or two afterwards. That's it, gone. It's life, but you know, maybe some positive stuff here. What about the Asimo? You know, the Honda Asimo. I don't know what the Japanese pronounce it. Probably Asimo, like that. I don't know how they call it, but you know, Japanese are very strong in their language.
It's house workers, or what is this?
It's housewife. No, I don't know. It's
housewife.
It's I like this. Asimo.
Is it working bad? You know?
No. Unfortunately, the Japanese haven't perfected that part yet. That's in beta testing mode. The Asimo Yahochu Kava or beer. Go in the fridge.
Mhm.
If it can go in the fridge and it can get me a beer, I think that's marriage. I think I could marry it then. Thank you very much. Dimitri? What do you think of this Asimo robot? You think it could be useful in the future?
Why not? I tried. For me, it will be useful. I don't want to lose time with kitchen or cleanest my house. I prefer that this work do robot.
Asimo, put down the cat. The cat, it does not go in the garbage. You know. Well, what could it do though? You know what the problem with the Japanese found out? It can't do much. That's the problem. Like, what can it do? They wanted it to design it for older people to help elderly people, right? I mean, old people in Ukraine, they work hard. I mean, they try to see Babushka, man. She knows. They don't in Ukraine. You don't see people in wheelchairs. You know, in Canada, right? We have so many people on wheelchairs. It's like Mario Kart. Almost, you know, like people have these carts and stuff like that. I don't know if it's because of laziness or what, but maybe Asimo would make us lazy too. Asimo, Yahochu this, Yahochu that. I mean, what the heck? Is it a dog or something?
But I think it's if it's created for Babushka, I understand. But if Babushka can buy this robot, why can she do something? Why she don't pay for women? Or I know I afraid this robot really, because when you come home and something moving in your flat, I don't know, it's it's crazy.
Asimo, put the knife down.
Imagine that you are sleeping and you try, and in your dreams you say something, I don't know, maybe beat me, and it's try to beat you, and it's afraid.
If I was watching a Freddy Krueger movie, I think I would put the off switch on the Asimo robot. But what would Babushka do with that robot? The poor thing wouldn't survive 2 days. She'd probably make it pick Katoshka from the village in the ground, you know, come on, pick some potatoes with her. I don't think it was made for that. Asking was say, I was made to get coffee for you, to clean, not to go on my hands and knees and to pick potatoes in the village. No. I don't think the batteries would last. So, yeah, that's the Asimo robot. And I don't know. We talk about Google cars, Asimo, Back to the Future. Oh, Vitaly, you remember this movie, Back to the Future, right? Yeah.
Not at all. But
no, Back to the Future. This movie here. I'm gonna paste the link for you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could go back in time.
Yes, I see it. Yes, it's a lot of, or it's just one.
I'm talking about like the first one. There's 3 series, but I'm talking about the first.
Three series. Yes, I remember it.
If you could go back in time, what year would you go back to?
I don't know. I think I go to 16, maybe 15 years. I want to see how people lived there. I really want to see it. For me, it's very interesting. I want to see these cars. I like these old cars.
Cars? Cars.
It's beautiful, and it's very. I want to see how people live without these hours modern life. I want to see how they, because we just read about it and know something about it, but I want to feel it, to see it, how it is. It's
probably
interesting.
No lazy people, that's for sure. You wouldn't see it.
Yes, no lazy. Yes, without imagine even about robots, some robots, and just do and they live and they were happy, and it's okay.
That's why a lot of the Ukrainians who came to Canada in the 1940s, they liked the TV show Little House on the Prairie. It's how people on the prairies, how they grew up, you know, because it reminds them of the old days, you know, how people used to live. Because it was, for them, it was more interesting. It was like, it's a simple life, you know. There's an old saying: a simple life is better than a complicated life, because you get to actually do more. You know, like there is truth to that as well.
Yes, that's true.
Dimitro, what year would you like to go back to if you had a chance? What year would you go to?
Actually, I want to see only Great October Revolution, and for this meaning, I won't go to the past. I don't want
go to the past.
Yeah, I don't want to see future. I want to see only past.
You don't want to see dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, no, it's not interesting for me. I prefer history of my country. I want to see Great October Revolution, that's all.
I think it'd be interesting to go way back and when dinosaurs were around, eh? Hopefully not to see a very hungry T-Rex dinosaur you might be on his lunch menu. But I kind of imagine it to be like Jurassic Park. Does anyone remember the movie Jurassic Park?
Yeah, I do.
You know, you never know. That could be Back to the Future. That we could see that in the future. You never know. They could bring that back. That would cut down on the population as well. Yvonne, if you could go back in the past, what year would you go to? What year?
I would want to go into the future, not in the past.
No, only in the past. That's it.
Yeah, but in the past, no, I want to have the internet, so I don't think it's possible.
Okay, 1991.
1991.
But not in Ukraine.
Yeah, not Ukraine, definitely. Somewhere in Europe, maybe United States, maybe Germany, but not in Ukraine. Definitely not in Ukraine.
Internet? What? Schultz, what is it? What is this internet? Like, never heard of it. Internet's old though. Internet's been around since the 70s, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't very popular. It was not used like it was today, but it did link different networks together. So it's hard to believe. When did the internet come to the Ukraine, by the way? Does anyone remember? What year it came to the Ukraine?
What
when the internet first was available to the Ukraine?
I don't know.
I started to use internet in 2004.
Really?
Only, yeah.
So before that, there was no internet in Ukraine?
There was internet, but I was living in a small city, and I had an opportunity to. Actually, I had my computer like from 1995, but I didn't have internet access. But later, when I came to Kyiv in 2003, the first time I had internet experience. I had created my email, and I've seen the internet the first time.
You got to see Google Maps, huh?
Yeah, but, you know, the thing is that I remember that is interesting is that when I asked my friends, like I have a friend, and he had access to internet, but at his father's work. And when he came back from his father's work, I asked him, okay, what is it? And he tried to explain me what internet is. You know, that was something really interesting. I didn't have like even a thought what is it, you know? And he tried to explain me what is internet, like me explaining it to Babushka right now.
Yeah, Babushka asked the same question. What is this? I'm scared of it. You know, what the heck is this?
Yeah, and she's sure that internet is the invention of United States to to enslave all the Russian people and Ukrainian people.
Yeah, you never know. You never know this stuff. You know, you never know because people are spying on other countries, right? I mean.
No. It was not definitely it was not developed to enslave people.
But yeah, you know what? Sometimes I wish this never happened, because sometimes I wish we never had the internet, because people have wrong information a lot of times. People go on Wikipedia and they believe everything they read, and that's not true. There's a lot of wrong stuff on Wikipedia. There's a lot of stuff that people get wrong about the world, and like my theory is, well, sometimes you shouldn't know it because you just might get it wrong, and you have wrong information anyways. And this is the problem with the internet. It's actually full of wrong information. You can see even in Ukraine what people in the world read about Ukraine. It's false information. It's an information war, we call it. So it's not even real. So if we never had the internet, we wouldn't have this problem to begin with.
Media. Yeah.
So Vitaly, since you're the only one left here, what do you think the internet will bring us in the future? Do you think anything else should be done?
I just think about it. I don't know. It's every time, every day, something new, and I even don't imagine what can we will do in the future on internet. I know that Google do now.
Google is making. What are they making?
Is making, yes, that when you are in another country, and for example in USA, and you speak, and at the time speaker translator translate it online, so it's like I can imagine how it will in here. No, I mean, but it's
I think that's lazy though, in a way, because
yes,
it makes us not learn a language.
Yeah, but my parents, when I was in the Europe and I speak in English with people, spoke, and then my father every time told me, Vitaly, I wrote about new modern technology, and after that I will be like you. I will speak with other, and I even go to Japan and I will speak with them. So it's
well, what if you don't have any internet connection? What if your phone dies? It's not all the time. I don't think you're gonna have internet, or you're gonna have a phone that's working. And how is that translator gonna be accurate? Because you know how these translators work. It can turn something into like Azarv language, and that won't.
Yeah, that's right.
Azarv language on Google Translator, that's not gonna work well, I think, because Google Translator doesn't work well. It doesn't work well. If I translate to something to Ivan right now, right, it's wrong. He'll tell me, no, Mike, this is not correct.
Yes.
It's to me, if you want to know it correctly, learn the language. That's the thing, but it's difficult for people like me. Yeah, so it's 9:58. We only have a couple minutes left. Anyways, I'm going to close this actually now. So, it's interesting. New things are being developed all the time, as we can see. Something new, something interesting. But I don't know. I just think that we're continuing to become lazier and lazier and lazier and less self-sufficient. I think 50 years ago, we were more smarter back then than we are today. Much more smarter.
Yeah, it depends on people. I think if we understand this problem, so we will do something to fix it in the future. But if but people don't understand, and they try to spend a lot of money for modern life, I think maybe.
Well, you can't fix something you don't know. You don't know what to fix. That's the problem. Like everyone today, they always want a new cell phone, new cell phone, new cell phone. But yeah, why do you need it? You need it because it works better, or just because it's trendy? 90% of the people will tell you because it's trendy.
Trendy, yes.
That to me is a mentality of a little child. Because a child only wants something new all the time. Old people like that, they didn't care. And those people, I can tell you, like the Ukrainian people in Canada, they're the ones who have money. Why? Because they never spent their money on stupid things. That's the thing. So, are there any questions for me? Vitaly, since you're the only one here, I don't know what happened to Dmitry. He never said a goodbye, but is there any other questions?
It's like, no, I don't have. Thank you for a lesson.
All right, I wish you came a little bit earlier. It was kind of interesting what me and Ivan were talking about. That wraps up. It's holidays in a couple days, so hopefully September, we get more people in the class, and we can have very good conversations. So that is it. Thank you for coming, Vitaly, and Ivan. Nice to talk to you as well. So that's.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it's not Ivan. In Yevhen. Yevhen. He's Yevhen.
But, Vitaly, in Germany I used to it because in Germany they called me Ivan for 2 years.
Ivan. Okay, so it's okay for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't pronounce people's names even after 2 years. I just say, hello, how are you? That's all I say. People get used to me. I'm an excuse. I say, I'm a dumb foreigner. It's okay. Penny Myers. It's okay. All right. But when people call me Mishka, it's okay too. So you know what? I'm okay.
Mishka.
For private lessons, like always, you can always book with me. Please check my schedule. I'm going to open my schedule even more for the remaining of the week and next week, so you're always welcome to book. And please look for more lessons. I'm going to add more lessons very soon because I actually have only one lesson left that's displayed. So everyone, I'll see you next Thursday. Have a good evening.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. До побачення.
Bye.
Пока-пока.